Righto, so front door. This is passenger front. Yeah, look, the locks mechanism's way easier to work out and do. Way easier, to be honest. It was a fraction of the time and the mucking around. So, you know, when you pull them out, it's pretty self-explanatory how the locks go. They're nothing hard, nothing needs bending, twisting, nothing. So yeah, way easier. So the only thing is, if you're using an XF door, you don't have the little screw holes here. On the XE door, you got two little screw holes. So if you use an XF door, just use the XF lock mechanism. It's ever so slightly different, but it's next to nothing different in reality. So yeah, there's no little screw holes here on the XF. So yeah, but the locker mechanism works fine. It all supports onto this section here, so there's no need for that extra little cover, which looks like somewhere here. Here, like that. A little cover that sits in there like that. So anyway, so yeah, really, you know, this to that's the same as the back. You got that, and the only difference is it's a lot easier to get the door handle in, and you've just got the lock mechanism here, your little lock set up there. So the only thing is, again, if you use an XF door and you've got to use your old locks, which you probably will, you've got to grind this tiny little bit out. It's not metal, but it's a little bit of fill. It looks like from the factory they must have filled it in to suit the XF setup. So yeah, just be mindful, you got to just tiny little bit of grinding of some sort of silicon, really hard silicon stuff. So it was no dramas. Yeah, you just follow just as per you remove, nothing hard, nothing tricky. So putting the door mechanism in. Look, again, you just use that setup. So there's a bit of a trick. The front two bolts, if you're using bolts, you have to use quite short ones, because you can't lever up, because there's no room on the side of this thing, on the side of this, to actually put some bolts in there. There's very little room on one side. The other side's fine. So just make sure you use small bolts, the right length bolts, that is. So yeah, a little bit more awkward to get that in because it's heavy and long. So yeah, just put the short bit of track at the back, long bit at the front, meaning front of the car. And just keep this bit here loose until you've done your final winding up, and make sure all that sits in there nice, and tighten it. So the order of doing the Bailey's channels before you do the glass. Start from the window, you know, if you've got a passenger side window, that is. That Bailey's channel doesn't fit in there very good at all. The Bailey's channel rubber is suitable for this stuff perfectly, but the window is but the channel itself is thinner by probably 2 or 3 mil. So it's very difficult to get the channel actually jammed in there. I must have spent half an hour just on that 1.5 foot section. It just would not go. I had to use all sorts of bloody tools. I ended up using that thing and just pushing until I got it all jammed into there. It was not easy. It was a pain in the ass, to be honest. But I got it in there eventually. So that just comes up. Mirror. That, again, like I've already done a video on how to put all these together. So you just set that up with 2 screws. Again, if you're going to use the XF door, you have to drill a new hole, because they don't line up, because the XF mirrors are longer. So yeah, be mindful, you have to drill a new hole, and just got to fill the old one up, so that lines up with the XE mirrors. So yeah, this video is also good for XF to XE to XF mirrors, door swaps. So if you are using XF door and putting XE parts in, this video is probably useful to you. Yeah, no, for Bailey's channel, just, yeah, again, you start from that way, work your way around. You don't even need to cut it. You still need a trim in the corner here. I did a well, now I'm getting good at it. Way better job. Way better job. So I actually worked out you got to go a little bit past where you think, and then it's like here. You got to trim it, and by the time it jams in there, it fits in there beautifully. So you just do a 90-degree notch, fits in there beautiful. So I'm really happy with that. So yeah, work your way around, and then just before you put this section in, just push it all in the Bailey's channel here, and then roll it in and do up the bolt. Away you go. I found when you're doing the door lock mechanism, just do a temporary bolt in there just to hold it all in there, by the way. Missed that bit. So then feed the glass in. Again, nothing tricky, just do same as the back door, just feed it in one way, turn it, and then push it all the way in. And then just use those same little mechanisms to lock them in. It's a little bit tricky because the glass is heavy and it's awkward, so you've got to sort of squeeze it together and then push that in at the same time, and then jam the little nut in. A lot easier with two people, but I'm on my own. It's life. I just work it out. So yeah, so then once the glass is in, you've got these little bits in, you just wind the window up very carefully and slowly. Once it's all seated in there, like I said before, then you tighten up these. So make sure these are a little bit loose while you're mucking around with things, because it'll jam and just pop it off the bloody runners. Yeah, so again, that's just the mirrors. I don't know, you just put that in there, bolt that on. That's about it. I mean, yeah. So then obviously I'll do the trim, which is the same as the back. Just put the trim on and bang the trim on. Oh God, am I supposed to do that first? Crap. Oh well, I might have to take that Mirror Bailey channel out again. Oh boy, that's a good question. I don't know if I'm going to get the trim piece in. No, you must be able to. Because you can change a mirror without pulling all the trim pieces off. So you must be able to. I'm about to find out anyway. So anyway, just got to get a little bit of trim. So yeah, so one of these are the passenger side ones. Not sure which one. Oh, I see, they're cut out already, see? There you go. Oh, I see. Right, so it gives you room for the mirrors and all that anyway. Okay, so it's fine. Yep. Oh, I didn't paint that. Bugger to paint that bit. Anyway, I got nothing else more about the doors. They're just time consuming. They really are time consuming if you haven't done them before. Like, I did the second back one way quicker than the first. This is my first front. Took me a while. It's going to take me half the time to do the second one. So, you know, use this video, get that hints, gets the order of doing things. There's no videos on YouTube that tells you about this stuff. So I'm hoping this helps. And it's good for my memories when I do it again in a few years' time. The only other thing I did, I painted the bumper. Painted the bumper, and it's come up bloody beautiful. It's like brand new. So I still got to put the little strip in there yet. So that's come up really good. Very happy with that. And I fixed all the bits underneath there. There were a couple of bits that were cracked. They're all fixed. That was my sanity job. After I finished the first door. Pain. Anyway, less parts on the floor. Yay. Less parts on the shelf. Moving forward. It's awesome. Yeah, sweet. Anyway, that's it for doors. I'll just build the second door and away we go.